Hi, this is the Chronicles of Jacqueline, and I'm going to give you my full name, Jacqueline, because that name comes from the word Jacob. Now, it is French, however, that is a name that my mother took because she liked Jacqueline Kennedy. Now, I don't think I have too much in common with Jacqueline Kennedy other than the fact that, I think it's a beautiful name. But something came up to me after I was done with college, and I came from University of Pittsburgh, and something about the Jewish history became very significant in my mind. That I found myself looking at the history of these Jewish people. And it was like I was bouncing between two groups of people. I would meet them and I was trying to make sense out of them. I would meet Jewish people. I would meet Palestinian people. I would meet Muslim people. I would meet again Jewish people. And it was like back and forth. And there was something about the two distinct religion that I was kind of like trying to make sense. I said, well, it's Abrahamic religion. Well, right after college, I was very fascinated even with paganism. Even though I was raised a Catholic, I became more Christian. But before I became more Christian, I was trying to understand world religion. I'm trying to understand the origin of everything. Now, something about this Jewish line, I know from my Catholic school, it's Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and so on and so forth, and you've got the 12 tribes of Israel. Now, from the name Jacob, if you look at it, Yaacob, Yaacob, Yaacob. Okay, the Lord eventually had me going through this Jewish line, and I became very familiar with what is going on to the Muslim women, and in particular, I was following what is happening to some of the women who have died because of honor killing. And in praying for them, the Lord directed my eyes to praying for the Jewish people. And I wasn't getting anywhere praying for the Muslim people. I've done videos, I have read scriptures, and I was calling on people. Now, somewhere along calling on people, I was crying out for Africans in the north, in the east, south, and west. And I remember closing my eyes and praying and crying out, Lord, send these people to speak up, because I wasn't getting anywhere. I was stuck. Then the Lord eventually moved me praying for the Jewish people, and I didn't think I'm going to get anywhere. It was like I blogged, and it was just everybody's just cursing one another. Everybody's sending out scriptures and saying, oh, we can't get through with these Muslim people, and so on and so forth. Now, the moment the Lord had me praying for the Jewish people, and I started going on it, but going to Twitter over and over again, YouTube over and over again. I made over 1,000 YouTube videos under the name Hudna, and Hudna means a truce. And I picked that name, truce number 1, because I'm saying that Hudna does not mean peace. And I was trying to reach out, so I tried to follow some Hollywood people, trying to get which one of them are Jewish people. Now, around that time, I was hoping, because they have the influence, perhaps they could be of help. And I realized it's not. I did make connection eventually. I saw a lot more people that are interested with Judaism and trying to help them, sympathetic upon what's happening in Israel. However, when I had followed very liberal people to try to promote Judaism, it sort of was getting all twisted, and it became a mumbo jumbo. Even I was getting so derailed. I was seeing a lot of jokes. I was seeing some activism, but it wasn't fortified. Then the Lord told me, no, I want you to pull on the righteous Jewish people. I want you to pull the righteous Christian people. Then from there, it sort of got magnified, and there was more kind of this pressing. And the Lord kept telling me to keep at it, pray for unity, pray for unity. And the next thing I know, after Twitter, the Lord told me, go back into Facebook and start promoting my people on the Facebook. I was hesitant to do that because now that's like telling my whole family this is what I'm going to be following, the Jewish line, and I'm not necessarily Jewish. However, 3 of my last names in my family is Jewish. It is from the Lopez, from the Ramirez, and from the, I believe, even Dizon, Sephardic Jewish names. But anyhow, I'm not going to take a claim as though I am Jewish because I haven't done, my DNA is not quite showing that. I did the DNA from this ancestral thing, and all it tells me is like, yeah, I have some root from the Middle East and Africa. But what does that mean? It mean nothing. So, but anyway, it doesn't matter if I'm Jewish completely or not, or even if I am absolutely not. I don't care because I know that the Lord is calling me to pray for Jewish people, and I get answers from it. Now, the Lord is moving me, pray for this African American people. And lo and behold, I know that the Lord is really going to answer that because I have such great joy. I can't even explain to you how much joy I feel praying for Jewish and African American people. It is astounding. So now I wanted to mention this. During the time of Noah and before the flood, the world is together. The world is one big mass with a high concentration of oxygen, very rich soil. We have mist in the air. We have dinosaurs roaming the world. We have giants all over the place. And then we have angels that has connived with human beings and had children. And those children became a hybrid angel and human, and they exerted a lot of power. And they were eating a lot of human life. They were killing a lot of human beings that are not hybrid. So the genetics of the human being were corrupted by the angels. Now there are still some people left with pure genetics that the Lord have given that has not succumbed to the hybridized form. And so you will see a lot of the ancient kind of like paganistic religion having these different deities with a lot of power. You will see that in the Greek mythology. You're going to see that in the paganism and Hinduism. Okay, now the reason why they depict all this historical quote unquote gods is because they did appear as God. Those are angels coming up with humans, coming up with animals, having certain power and brilliance that is beyond just the actual human beings. And the human beings are getting decimated. And so the Lord has to come back and pull his people once again. And that happened to be Noah and his family. Now, when Noah and his family were called to build the ark, so let's say, okay, here's the ark. For example, the Lord said, build the ark. Okay, this is obviously not the ark, but okay, like build the ark. When Noah was told to build the ark, he got his sons Shem, Japheth, and Ham. And they had their beautiful wives. Okay, you have to realize human beings are very beautiful. It doesn't matter how dark or light the skin, they are beautiful. You have to realize around that time of Noah, people lived longer because they had no pollutants in the air. They have higher oxygen concentration. They have such high oxygen concentration, they were living longer. They were staying younger, healthier. They are not, they're having children even in their hundreds. Okay? So, this is before the flood. The world is one mass. So you can put the globe, you can look at the map and you can see, you can put them all together and it will puzzle as one mass. Okay? Separated from the water. Now when the flood comes, and the reason for the flood is that many of the human beings were getting destroyed and decimated by the hybridized human beings and angelic form that have specific kind of power, that they are gigantic Nephilim creatures, and they are hideous, and even the animals are corrupted. What happened is the Lord has to take this family of Noah and save them through the ark. Now, the Lord didn't want to do that, but he asked Noah to put all the animals in there. And so those animals, if you notice, almost all of us here in this world loves the zoo. In different nations, we love the zoo. If you look in South America, you look at India, and look at Asia, we naturally have a love for animals. We love pets. We like to take something home with us and stuff, and that is because we're part of Noah. Now, what is our gene? It's also part of Noah. So 8 people were in that boat, okay? 8 people. Now, you got to realize, after the flood, a lot of the dinosaurs have died. A lot of giants have died. And only this family is saved with the animals. Now, it sounds sort of mythical, but it isn't, because they are now able to prove, and you have to look up this word, look at the there's different cultures now, and you can look at some of the, many of the scientists that are doubting evolution completely. There is a thing called the Austin chalk. Now, the Austin chalk is a sedimentation of dirt that has accumulated through all over the world. They're finding this Austin chalk, and that signifies the Great Flood. After the Great Flood, the earth separated. So now you have North America, Middle America, South America. You have Africa, separated from the Middle East, separated from Russia, separated from China, separated from Australia. Okay, then you have volcanic eruption that promotes all the different little islands. But if you stick them all together, they fit like a puzzle. Okay, so the biggest clue, the biggest puzzle of it all is the group of the dark-skinned people. Now, the way to explain the dark-skinned people is that from the time of Noah, there's only 4 families and their wives, and they have children. After the flood, these people all came out of the boat and populated the world again. So many of them were walking, and they were probably darker skin. Now, some people may be a little bit lighter skin. Now, you have to understand, there is no human being coming straight out of an ape. Ape does not turn into human, and even when human beings have genetic deformities, they are still not ape. The human DNA, from the darkest to the lightest group of people, is 99.99% similar, which is why we can have children from very dark-skinned people and very light-skinned people. The only reason some people are lighter is the very fact that that part of the trait for skin coloring came off. Now, if you look at the Africans in Papua New Guinea, they have blonde hair. They have blue eyes. Some of these African-looking people. So what that tells you is that we all just came from one race, from Noah's. Okay. Now, yes, there has been a curse on Ham, and Ham's not on Ham, the son of Ham, which is Canaan. And this curse took about because of the education from the father that was not good going to the son. But this particular curse is being broken down because people will eventually return to the scripture. Now, the African American race is many of them is stemming straight out of the Israelites. Moses and Aaron have darker skin. Perhaps also Miriam, and especially the Ethiopian wife. And that is from the land of from Cush. And in Hebrew it's called Cush. So I want people to kind of hone that. And this is the reason why I'm praying. Because in my name, I am meant to find that Jacob line. That is perhaps the main destiny of my life, and why I even do this video, is that I have this obsession over the line of Jacob. And in having that, I pray for them daily, and I know great things is going to happen in the days to come, because the closer we are to the days, the closer we are to the Lord. So, Shema, God bless. Shalom, shalom.